Last segment of the day. We're going to talk about the preseason. We're going to talk about the upcoming season for the 2004 Detroit Lions. And we're also going to dive into Steve Mariucci, Matt Millen, who these guys truly are. What is their MO? What is going on? You're also going to see a recap of the preseason on the screen for those people that are watching it online. And of course, if you're not watching online, just listen to my beautiful voice and just continue to listen to my beautiful voice. But the Detroit Lions have had a pretty good preseason. I really don't care about the record, but Joey Harrington, especially in that last preseason game, he showed that maybe he is the right guy for the job. Tony Campbell, the journeyman, he went to Canadian football, really struggled there, but when he came to Arena League, he actually performed pretty well, and he actually performed pretty well in his first ever preseason game in week number 1 of the preseason. Now, for the highlights, it's going to say week 3, but week 3 was the Detroit Lions' second preseason game. It's weird. I don't know why the NFL is doing this, but that's just what they're doing. Now, this to get things going, you guys will see some college clips of Charles Rogers, of Kevin Jones. You will see some clips of Joey Harrington and Roy Williams. Those are our up-and-coming young guys that we need to be successful this season and into the future. But the first topic we're going to talk about, I only have about 10-15 minutes at the most to get up out here and get all your questions and concerns out. I got all your emails here, and we will be going over those. First topic is Steve Mariucci. And a lot of you guys know him from the Bay Area. Was doing radio out there on a very small radio station out in the Bay Area when he was the head coach of the 49ers. And when he was the head coach of the 49ers, everybody knew that he inherited a great team. You inherited future Hall of Famers and Steve Young and Jay Rice. And then out of the blue, in the 3rd round, you draft a guy by the name of Terrell Owens. And then you had all-pro secondary. From Rod Woodson was on the team in '98. You also had Kevin Green, number 3 in sacks all time. You also had Chris Dolman. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. You also had an outstanding linebacker core with Gary Plummer and Ken Norton Jr. and stuff like that. And they couldn't get over that Green Bay hump. Now, I bring that up because we are the Detroit Lions, basically, right? Football season comes around. Let's see, a big in the Michigan State football. Detroit is really all you have to enjoy during the football season. And if he couldn't get over that Green Bay hump, if Steve Mariucci couldn't crack the code on how to beat the Green Bay Packers, what makes us think that he can do it here with less talent? Joey Harrington is no Steve Young. No Steve Young. All right? Roy Williams and Charles Rogers, they are not T.O. and Jay Rice. As of right now, they're not. Maybe they can turn into that dynamic duo, but most likely, I mean, it's possible. Anything is possible. I just don't really see it happening. But I'm hoping that it does. I'm hoping that it does. Now, the other stops on Steve Mariucci's resume before we get back to his 49er days, he was a quarterback coach of the Green Bay Packers, and that's like one of his claims to fame. Like, he was buddy-buddy with Brett Favre. But it's like, how much did Brett Favre really learn from Steve Mariucci? How many things can we really say that Brett Favre did differently from his college days at Southern Miss to that 1 year in Atlanta to what he did before Steve Mariucci even got there in Green Bay? Like, what changed from Brett Favre from then even to now? Nothing. He's still the same quarterback, in my opinion. He's still that same gunslinger. He's not your prototypical quarterback. He will be a Hall of Famer. He got a Super Bowl. He's been league MVP 3 times in a row. But at the end of the day, like, really, what does Steve Mariucci do for Brett Favre? And then at Cal, it's college football, and Cal's not one of the biggest programs. They're more in the academics out there in Berkeley than they are college football. And more power to you. Always get your education. But at the end of the day, did he bring them Pac-10, Pac-8, Pac-12, whatever they're calling it nowadays? Or did he give them any glory? Did he get them to the top? Did they sniff a Rose Bowl? No. The answer is no, not even close. And here's why I know that. Because you have to win at least that Pac-10 title to get to the Rose Bowl. And they have never won the Pac-10. Never. Never. So again, how great of a coach is this guy? He inherited a great team in San Francisco, got him to a couple of NFC Championship games, but ultimately couldn't get over that Green Bay hump. Went to Green Bay to become the quarterback coach before all that, and again, I don't see his stamp on Brett Favre. I mean, and I know a coach can only do so much, but when, and I hate comparing apples to oranges, but when Phil Jackson got Kobe and Shaq, they got along better when before they didn't have a coach there like a Phil Jackson. Michael Jordan really didn't trust his teammates, and for good reason. For good reason he didn't trust his teammates, because his teammates were flat out butt cheeks. But when he got Phil Jackson was like, hey, you are still the man. You're still going to win scoring titles. You're still going to be the best player in the league, but I'm going to need you to trust your teammates. So coaches do have an impact on players, but I just don't see the impact that Steve Mariucci had on a guy like Brett Favre. I just don't. Now going to Matt Millen, our GM. And I know a lot of you guys want Millen to be fired. I mean, we see signs all the time. Fire Millen, fire Millen, fire him. And I know you guys saw that week 2. My man Charles Rogers in the preseason had a fantastic game. Big ups to him. Hopefully he can carry that into the regular season, because, again, preseason is preseason. Now, Matt Millen, nasty dude. If you don't know, he is one of the best linebackers of the 80s, I want to say. He went to Penn State, and when he went to Penn State, he was actually a defensive tackle. He gets drafted by the Raiders, and they turn him into a linebacker, and he's one of the better linebackers of the 80s, like I already said. He goes to the 49ers, and he's looking for fights because he felt like this team was soft. This team is soft, right? It's the finesse 49ers coming from the rugged and mean Oakland Raiders. He was looking for fights and all that stuff, right? So he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. I saw the documentary on the Raiders, and he said on the Raiders wall, there was like this sign that said, rule number 1, cheating is encouraged. Rule number 2, see rule number 1. And I'm like, that is a tough dude. That's the type of linebacker, that's the type of player I want on my team. Now, when is that going to translate into the Detroit Lions? Because the Detroit Lions, they have to embody something. I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they had Chuck Nolan, now they got Bill Cowher, but it seems like the Rooney family is what represents the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hardworking, don't complain about nothing, get your job done, you know what I mean, do it with respect, and have a good day. So you got Matt Millen, and I don't know if he's converting to this soft dude. I don't know if he's been watching, I don't know if he has little girls or anything like that, but maybe he's been taking them to too many ballet recitals and stuff like that, because he is soft, in my opinion. No defensive guy would say, oh, you know what, we're going to win with offense. Whatever happened to defense wins championships? But no, he wants to win with offense. He's drafted Charles Rogers from Michigan State. He's a hometown dude. I like it. But then this year, we have a rookie by the name of Roy Williams. So that's 2 big-time receivers that somehow have to coexist, because you know that they both have dreams of being that number 1 guy. They don't want to be the second guy. They want to be that number 1 guy. But now they have to share the ball. They have to share the ball, and Steve Mariucci, who couldn't control Terrell Owens, is going to try to have to control 2 prima donna receivers in Detroit. I don't think that's a good idea, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. But again, then you draft Joey Harrington. There's nothing tough about Joey Harrington. Nothing at all. I don't think he's mentally tough. I know he's not physically tough. I know that when it gets cold, he's not the same quarterback. I know when we have to go to Soldier Field and we have to go to Lambeau Field and all that stuff, that the Packers are going to look to tear his head off, and I don't think he can handle it. My opinion. So I hope that Matt Millen knows what he's doing, because I feel like he is not creating a team in his image. He is not creating a team that is going to just out-physical people. And that's what we need. We need to keep the ball away from Brett Favre and from Armand Green and from Javon Walker. We need to keep the ball away from Green Bay. So we need to run the ball. I don't think Kevin Jones is one of those ground and pound running backs like that. He's a little finesse to me. It looks like we want to be pass happy. We have this West Coast head coach who loves throwing the football. We have this new quarterback that we have to prove is the next great quarterback. We have this finesse running back. We don't have any studs on the defensive side of the ball. So it's like we're trying to do shootouts. We are trying to do shootouts and win shootouts with Brett Favre. That's not a good look. And let's not forget what they have over there in Minnesota. They got Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss. The big boss, Randy Moss. So I don't know if this formula is going to work. I hope it does. But I want Matt Millen to make a team in his image. Are we not naive to the fact that the 85 Bears won that Super Bowl because they had Walter Payton and a great defense? Nobody's going to credit Jim McMahon for the reason why they won that Super Bowl. Nobody's going to credit Trent Dilfer for why the Ravens won their Super Bowl. It was all Ray Lewis and that defense. Why can't we just use that blueprint? And for my Tom Brady lovers out there, y'all need to be real with yourselves. That first Super Bowl, I ain't talking about that last Super Bowl. I'm talking about that first Super Bowl. Tom Brady was not the reason why they won it. Yes, that last drive was fantastic. It was fantastic. But that Patriots defense held the greatest show on turf to 20 points. Like, think about that. The greatest show on turf. And Bill Belichick came up with a beautiful game plan to get that team to just be physical with that team. Make them play football. And in Detroit, that's what we need. In Detroit, that's what we need. We don't need to be finesse. We don't need to do shootouts. We need to be smash mouth. All right, you guys, time to get to the email I've been ranting on for the last 10 minutes. Let's get to your emails. The first email, can Joey Harrington be a good quarterback? Yes, he can be a good quarterback if he doesn't turn the ball over. Right now, he has more interceptions than TDs in his young NFL career. Another email says, who is Chris Cooper? Well, Chris Cooper, if you forgot, he won the Heisman back at SAU. Kind of a forgotten man because he's been hurt, and when he came out of college, he had a big holdout. He held out for the majority of his rookie year, trying to get a new contract. But I think he can fit what I want Detroit to do more than Kevin Jones can, but only time will tell. Last email, who is Tony Campbell? Tony Campbell, he was at SAU with Chris Cooper, and they kind of turned that program around. It's a small program in San Antonio, but he went to Canada to play football. He went to Canada, to play football, and he went to arena football. At arena football, he turned out to be a star. Now he wants to get a shot in the NFL, but as of right now, he's the backup to Joey Harrington, and I think Joey Harrington is that man. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming season. I hope you guys are too. That's going to be my time. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Week 1 will be tomorrow, and hopefully the Detroit Lions can have a good showing. But that's my time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I enjoyed bringing it to you. Hope that the rest of the day is the best of your day, and I'm going to see y'all later. Peace. Hot sauce.